Oh, I forgot to change it to say, not say quarterfinals. Or no, whoops, that's my bad. Whoopsie. All right, and we are back. On wait just a couple minutes for people to file back in. Close that. All right. We waited a bit. We can go ahead and get started here. Okay. So welcome to the other semifinal match for tonight. Team SI, Team BW. Team SI undefeated coming into the semifinals here. Up against Team BW, who has really looked like one of the upstart teams this season. And definitely there's a chance they could pull off an upset. They've already pulled off one. As playoffs, will they be this season's ABW? We'll see. We'll go ahead and look at the draft here. This is a watch party, so we're a bit behind. We'll go ahead and look at the draft here for game one. It's going to be SI on blue, BW on red. Okay, I did do it, right? Hold on. Yeah, okay. We go. They'll file in when they file in, but... Okay. All right. Yeah, SI blue, BW red. Look at the bands here. Urgot, Caitlyn, Malzahar. Nothing surprising there. Those are all go-to champions for BW. Kane, Lilia, Yorick. Yep, Sawdu, Cop and two bands, and Crimson Chen getting the third. No surprise there. Let's be the Jinx first pick for SI. Well, there you go. Lots of Jinx here today. 100% Jinx play rate so far. It's going to be the Mel Jarvan. Okay. And it's going to be the Gwen Spicy. Presumably Gwen Jungle. I know Sawdu's been practicing that. He's a big fan. And the Vel'Koz. Very interesting. Okay, so that's going to be a Vel'Koz mid lane for SI. That's different. Okay. And then Xerath to face him as well. Or no, it'll probably be Mel. So I assume Xerath mid, Mel support, but we'll see. And the Varus coming in for BW. Not surprising there. Second most prioed ADC after Jinx. And then Bard. Okay, interesting. And then Pantheon to round out the SI comp. Okay, so Crimson Chin for Pantheon, I assume. And then Bard for Bromstein. Okay. Then BW is going to round it out with the Ornn last pick. Interesting. Okay. And we've got the draft here. I don't know why we only have one viewer. People are taking their sweet time getting back in, I guess, but that's okay. We will not make them wait any longer, and we'll go ahead and hop into the game. All right, here we go. Looks like they had technical issues at the start of the game too. Go figure. It's a beer league staple. Somebody's gonna have issues somewhere. And here we go.
Until minions spawn. Minions have spawned.
All right, and here we go. Jungler's both going to start bot side here for game 1. Nice early trade there by the SI bot lane. It looks like we might get a level 2 gank here by the Jarvan. And indeed we will, and he's doing a good job of not rushing his EQ there. Honestly, probably gonna hold it even longer. He's gonna go. Looks like the bot lane for SI's gonna go ahead and get away. I would have liked to have maybe seen him just flash on top of Jinx and then use EQ to follow afterwards if she flashes. I don't know if that would have made the difference, but I think in that situation where you know they have to flash to escape, you kind of like force it out with something other than your flash, if that makes sense. Yeah, early gank there, but in the end, the side bot lane is fine. Whoa! Bit of an early invade here going in by Sawdude. Now he's going to get run out of the jungle by Ornn, but he ends up being okay. I'm kind of surprised you don't take W level 3 on Gwen jungle. Like, yeah, it doesn't do damage, but all that armor and MR I feel like would be helpful in clearing the jungle and stuff. But I'm not a Gwen jungle player, so I would not know. Vel'Koz is a bit of an interesting choice to go against this Mel. I like it. I think it's fine. There's no really critical abilities to block. Maybe the knock-up, I guess. But it won't block your ulti, which is kind of the most important thing. Plus, Vel'Koz is a fun champion with his, Death Star lasers, so always enjoyable to watch him. Vel'Koz was actually my go-to mid laner like a decade ago. Enjoyed him a lot, but I think the game's gotten a lot more mobile in the time since then, and he's gotten a lot more difficult to play. But he still has his uses. It's not a particularly mobile PWT here is basically just Jarvan, so doesn't have to worry about getting jumped on a lot. That makes Vel'Koz a lot easier to play. Oh, that's right, it is. They have role swapped a bit. It is Braunstein mid and JWM support. That's right. I forgot they made that change. Ooh, and Serpup actually down a lot of mana here. Should be fine though. He's able to just walk away. No kills here yet, although a bit of a gold lead here for SI thanks to the CS. Jungle in top. Yeah, it's tough to find openings to gank a Bard, especially when the wave's kind of pushing into him like this. So probably just call him over for Dragon instead, which looks like that's what he's indeed gonna do. Pantheon actually ults mid lane. Not quite able to land the ulti, but he is going to be here. And unfortunately, I don't know if they actually realized they were doing this dragon here, so they're going to back off before actually contesting. Okay. That's going to be pretty much a free first dragon over for Team BW. I would just like to point out that neither of the final 4 teams has a mid laner rated above 3.5. So clearly having a high cost mid laner is really overrated. There you go. And a bit of a lane swap here, and Impex is kind of getting the business by this horn, but he should be just fine. Horn's going in for the 1v2. Is he going to have the damage to finish him off? Nope, not quite yet. And in fact, he's going to go down in return. Oh, that was close. But he does survive. He wants to be busy tonight, yeah. Pretty low viewer count for what would be the semifinals, but I imagine a lot of our normal watchers were currently in game, so that's part of it. And the Vel'Koz kind of just gets collapsed on 4-man and goes down here. Probably definitely should have just saved his flash when you're that cooked, but alas, he does go down. BW's gonna go ahead and move on here and grab this first set of grubs, so both early objectives for them, so great early macro play. Yeah, SI does have a bit of a gold lead, but they haven't losing objectives. Chin's going to look for the 1v2 here. Does he have the damage to actually finish him off, though? Not quite, and now he has to run. He does have flash, so he shouldn't die here. I wouldn't... Okay. I mean, if he, he gets hit by the point-blank empowered Q, I mean, that'll do it, I suppose. So there you go. Right early game for BW here. Gank coming through in the mid lane for Vel'Koz. Yeah, see, this is where that flash would come more in handy, but he's in fact going to go down. Bart here to try to help, but afraid a little too late. Very early lane swap by BW here, and they've really taken advantage of it so far. Other than the Ornn barely dying down here, they've really gotten great value after swapping top and bot so early on. And so far, about up to about 1,000 gold lead here for BW now, thanks to all of those kills. There's going to be a lethality Varus this game. It's probably not a bad choice. This is a very squishy SI team here. And it kind of goes well with the poke comp they got going on, poke and siege. Bit of a gank coming on here. I'm pretty sure he was seen by that minion though. Oop, and that's gonna land that. It's gonna be a nice Bard ulti on himself, but I don't think it's gonna matter. And it is indeed not. He's gonna go down. He's gonna land a Jarvan ulti on Jinx, and he's gonna go down as well. And yeah, it's great early game here for BW so far. Got both early objectives. Have 1.5k gold. Sardou's complaining about his ping. Typical Alaska experience right there. It's actually impressive that SI has managed to go undefeated this whole season while having 2 of their team members playing from Alaska. You never know how good or stable their connection is going to be from that far away, but here they are, playing for a chance at the finals. No series losses on the record, 9-0. BW is going to go ahead and move in and grab Dragon number 2, and that will be an easy piece of strength for him. Piece of strength for them this game. Ooh. And Bromstein just barely survives. So the one thing SI does have going for them is they got the Gwen. Gwen's already got her first item. Maybe she can pop off here. Use that power spike and make some big plays. Does have Ghost. She has ulti. She's got Nashor's too. Let's see some big plays, Mr. Sawdude. A bit of a gank set up here by the Bard, and here is indeed the Gwen. And the Zerathul's going to come down. I'm not actually sure if that was helpful. I think she was already on him anyway, but it will indeed go down. Bard's going to steal the kill. Classic. And now Mel's going to TP here, but I don't think it really makes any difference. Nunchakes is here as well. That was a lot of resources blown to get 1 kill. Now Crimson Chin. Ooh, nice flash to dodge the Ornal here. That might have saved his life. Yep. Got him into his tower range, and they go ahead and abort the gank.
Turret plating will soon fall.
Bromstein's actually, I think, probably going to go down here. If he gets hit by 1 more Q. Nope, he ends up having to flash, but he does live. There's the viewer starting to come back in. Welcome back. Or welcome. If you weren't here for the first one. You know, despite how well this game's gone for BW, it's only about a 1k gold lead for them, which is, you know, it's not bad at all, but not as dominant as you would expect considering how they've basically done whatever they wanted across the map. So, yeah, SI still very much in this game. You know, one pop off away from being back in the driver's seat. So. Gwen's gonna go ahead and go in here. But she's kind of getting CC'd, and should be fine. Kind of trapped in the circle with Jarvan, but if anything, he's trapped in there with her. But he's going to go down. And now the rest of SI is going to collapse as well, and Castro's trying his best to frontline, but there's just too many. And they end up capturing, I think he ends up ulting his own Xerath by accident and ends up kind of getting him trapped there, although he didn't have flash, so I guess he was cooked either way. And yeah, SI is going to go ahead and secure this Rift Herald here. That's kind of the rebound they needed. Plus a solo kill in the bot lane here. Let's go ahead and see that. Yeah, that's the angle you cannot give when you're behind. Yep, and he's going to end up getting slowed. Yep. Ooh, yep. That's tough. Nice solo kill from Mel down in the bot. Down in bot. Nice rebound here. And yeah, there you go. SI's grabbed the gold lead just like that. First item starting to come in across the board. Is my chat broken? None of you, it doesn't show any of you a set of words since this second cast started. I don't know if y'all are just being quiet or if my chat isn't working correctly. It really could be either. Bit of a Varus engage there on the Gwen, kind of stalls her, but kind of gets her W. That's a big get. Hello. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay, my chat is working. That's good to know. Nice Bard ulti there. Kind of calls out Manu, and then Pantheon TP's in here, but he ends up getting blasted immediately. But that paves enough of a way for Gwen to kind of ult in. And now Ornn's here from the side. Nice two-man knockout by Ornn, and now he's deep in their team, and that allows the rest of BW to push forward. And a great fight. You know, it looked good there for a while for SI until the Ornn came in from the side with the steel chair. What's up, Lightning? Welcome. Ornn! Yeah, 3 soul point already for Team BW. Great start for BW here. They're in a fantastic spot. Ornn went crazy. So he did. Is that a pink ward? It's interesting. Why does that ward have 4 hit points instead of 3? Is that a thing? You guys see that, right? Why does it have 4? Okay. I don't know why that one has 4 as well. I'm very confused. Okay. Bit of a gank coming up here in the top lane. They're going to go ahead and try to get Mr. Kaz, and he's doing a great job stalling. And Bard is here to try to help. And yeah, Bromstein doing a phenomenal job making them really earn this gank here. Ooh, very nice Bard ulti to stall, but unfortunately, Vel'Koz is still going to go down. And the NS is going to come out ahead on that play, although just barely. Oh, you know what? I bet it's this thing, isn't it? Deep ward. Yeah, the deep ward rune. I totally forgot about that. So these are Bard's wards with deep ward rune. Got it. Like I've never seen a ward with 4 health before, or a regular ward with 4 health. And that's why. Okay. Fair play. Fair play to Mr. Bard. And then a bit of a gank coming up here on the Vel'Koz once again. He has been a target this game, for sure. That is one of the reasons I don't play him that much anymore. He's just he's gank bait. Simple as. SI is going to go ahead and actually move in on this Otacon because they just saw the enemy jungler top. But can BW contest well enough to get them to stop? We'll see. They're trying their best, and indeed they will. Ooh, unfortunately misses the Ornn ulti. That would have been a great engage. But in the end, it just ends up being okay. Still ends up forcing him off. They're trying to keep their Otacon from stall or from resetting long enough for the Jarvan to get here and secure. And they indeed will. And now the rest of the fight's breaking out. and they're going in. That's a double knock up under the tower. And the Mel orbital strike comes in, and that's going to take out Jarvan, and that's Bard's going to go down to the Varus Q as well. They also getting up the Otacon. Wow, well played by BW there. It's very unfortunate that the second Ornn ulti missed, but in the end, the fight still went great for them. They still came out ahead on kills. They got a 3.5k gold lead. They got Soul Point in a minute here. They're doing great here in game 1. But it's definitely still very salvageable if you're Team CR here. Yeah, I mean, being down 3k gold sucks, but 3k gold at 20 minutes is nowhere near insurmountable, especially when you've got reset potential with Jinx and stuff. So, and you got lots of playmaking with Bard and Pantheon. You just got to find your opportunities and take them. And Dragon is here. I do think BW's been a little bit lackadaisical about getting ready for this, but it's fine. They're on the way now. SI is not really being that much better, so here we go. They're deep in the jungle here. Are they going to try to go for them? Interesting. Pantheon's going to go ahead and TP in here as well. He does have an ulti, so he has to use TP. BW is going to go ahead and aggro the Dragon here. I don't like that when you know all of SI is here. I would like to prioritize the fight, especially you don't want to take all this damage from this slows from this Dragon. They're going to do it, and I don't like it. I don't like 50-50ing the Dragon here. And here comes the Ornn ulti. Can't block that, not technically a projectile. And here comes the engage begins, and Sawdude's going in. And that's going to be Castro down, and now SI is going to move it in position on this Dragon. And Lord Rest trying to get back in to see if he can smite steal it. And he does not, so that's going to be Dragon Soul denied for now. And now the resets are coming in, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. They still have a chance. Ooh, but the orbital strike comes in from Mel, and Jinx goes down. So there goes her reset party. But in the end, still a great play for SI. They stop the Dragon Soul. They close the gold gap. Yeah, I really didn't like aggroing the Dragon then when all of SI was right there, because he kind of puts you in a bad spot. And BW and SI was able to get a good enough engage to punish him for it. So, well played to them. That could make a big difference in this game. You know, you may have been in a good position to get Dragon Soul now, but in 5 minutes, will you be in the same spot? It's hard to say. I'm noticing the double mana items for Mel. I'm not sure if that's what you're supposed to do. I don't blame them for doing that necessarily, because I know her mana costs are really high. But I feel like you're just giving up too much to go double mana items. But we shall see. Yes, 7-0, so clearly he's doing something right. Guy's looking for some poke, but he needs to be careful. He is target number 1 for this Jarvan. And there's indeed going to go, and that is goodbye, Vel'Koz. Yeah, once you see that Jarvan on your screen, you need to back up. You're just too vulnerable. And you even have to use the Jarvan ult to get him there. Ooh, Lord Wrath actually going to get kind of caught out trying to get the Scuttle Crab here. He's trying his best to make the best of it. So far, he's actually still alive, but is he going to go down? Yes, he is. Jinx ult takes him down. No, Ornn's TPing here. And BW wants blood. They kind of got him here in the jungle. But a little too far away, not able to keep going for now at least. And Castro says, I don't care, I'm going in anyway. And yeah, he's going in, and now his team's slowly rotating. He's pretty tanky, so he can afford to tank this for a while. Sawdude, you know, he's in the circle, so he's still getting hit by all the CC. Sawdude, however, looks like he's gonna be able to escape. Look at that healing. Here comes the Xerath ulti. Can we finish off Sawdude here? Nope. Okay, and then the ult's going to come down, or the Garden Soul's going to come down on Vel'Koz, but no follow-up. Able to finish him off. Okay, lots of abilities blown there, but in the end, it's kind of a wash. Now, does Mel's whole execute passive account for like magic pen and stuff? Because it stores magic damage, or no, hold on, storing magic damage. If the stored amount exceeds the enemy's combined health, shields, and health, they are executed, so it's true damage. Does that account for like magic pen, like sword shoes and stuff? I actually don't know. I assume it does. It'd be weird if it didn't. Speaking of weird, very nice ulti there by Crimson Chin right on top of the Mel's head, and she's gonna get blasted, give up 1,000 gold shutdown, which is really not great. And now Messiah wants more, but I don't think they have the engage to make this happen. I mean, they got bar ulti, but they're not really close enough. Dragon is coming up here in a minute though, and Crimson Chin unfortunately gets caught out here, and he's gonna go down basically for more or less for free. The Ornult comes out on Vel'Koz, and he's gonna get blasted as well. Yep, and the fight is on, or the chase is on rather, and SI's gonna get chased out, and this should be. Are they gonna go for Baron instead? I don't like it. I think their Baron's too slow to do this. I could be wrong, but there's 3 SI members alive. You don't particularly have a fast Baron because this is a lethality Varus, not an on-hit Varus. I'd much rather just worry about the Dragon Soul instead, because even if you get this Baron, you're probably conceding Dragon in return, but you're low enough you might just get contested. We'll see. I mean, it's going down. They're taking a ton of damage, but they are going to end up getting the Baron. Okay. They're going to rotate straight over to the Dragon, but they are chunked pretty bad. They're going to go right for it. Okay. I mean, BW, I mean, you know, still in a great spot, especially if they can catch anybody here. We shall see what happens. And again, I would like to see you look for the fight rather than aggroing the dragon. But again, they've aggroed the dragon. Like, guys, de-aggro the dragon, please. Like, this is a 5v5 contest. I don't like it. All right, well, they're going for it anyway. They're forcing the dragon, and here comes Pantheon Ultin, and he's going to go in on the back line, and he's going to take down Xerath, and yeah, that's going to be a second dragon secured for Team SI. That's going to be Dragon Soul denied once again. All right, so let's go ahead and see this fight, because a lot happened here, so let's go ahead and see what happens. So they're tanking it. Mel still OP? Yes, apparently. Okay, so they're doing it, and okay, and Pantheon comes in, and he turns and goes on Pantheon, and then Gwen's able to swoop in and steal the dragon. Okay, and then they're not even able to get Pantheon, so they end up just having to run without getting the dragon, which is really not ideal. Okay, I mean, yeah, that's the second time in a row that trying to force dragon with all of SI right there has bit them in the ass. So, no, BW's played really well this game, but that's 2 Dragon Souls in a row they failed to secure because they tried doing it right in their face. I don't think they're that fed or that far ahead to do that. Ooh, Crimson Chin's gonna get very caught out here. Yeah, very unfortunate time to be using that portal there. About 4.5k gold lead here for BW, although I have to feel like they're still in a great spot, but I feel like, failing to get Dragon Soul twice in a row, their grip on this game is kind of loosening a bit. Their comp is going to start falling off here. This is definitely not a very good scaling comp. Pretty much no one here except for Orange scales particularly well, whereas obviously SI scales great. Sawdude able to pick off the Xerath here on the side. I'm not sure why Xerath is that far off on his own. BW is going to go ahead and get that tower here. Ooh. A bit of ults being shot at each other by Tank and Mage. In the end, they both survive. Mm. Oh, interesting. The reflected, the damage reflection, or the damage of the reflection is skills to AP. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. And Castro's gonna go ahead and be caught out here. Nice pick for SI. And that's the top lane experience right there. Anyone who plays top lane's familiar with that. Just trying to push out side lane, mind your own business, and stick a target on your back. Ooh, and they're going for it. They're going to go ahead and Bartle the tower. And Gwen's going in, and she's doing lots of damage all by herself. And now the first reset's coming in. And they have the damage to get the second reset. Yes, they do. And that's going to be a big fight win for Team SI there. And Jarvan's kind of off in La La Land. I'm not really sure what he's doing at the moment, but he's not here. And yeah, I mean, BW's grip on this game is definitely slipping. You could see the SI confidence to make plays is there. They're looking for him. They should get this top hit, no problem. Ornald is going to come in, but there's no follow-up, so... Well, actually, I mean, decent bars Q damage, but there's no one to actually go in to finish anybody off. SI should be able to escape. Yeah, well played to SI to hang in there this game, because that first 15, 20 minutes really did not go well for them, but they've hung in there and kept it competitive. Made the game still playable at this later stages. And Dragon Soul attempt number 3, here we go, plus Baron as well. And I think if you're BW, either A, you rush it before they get here, or B, you look for a fight and then take it. You don't try to do it in front of all of them like you've done the last couple times, because that's just burned you. So you got to be more proactive here. I don't know if I would agree to use the Gwen W there just to do that, because you don't have it here for the fight, but it'll be back in time. Yeah, use your poke advantage with Xerath and Mel and Varus and kind of force the, chunk them out a bit, make some plays. Sawdude's actually going to go ahead and aggro the dragon. He's going to go ahead and hop over the wall, and yeah, again, they're in this situation again, and Crimson Chin's just looking for an engage from the side, which is the right thing for him to be doing. And here we go, Dragon Soul attempt number 3. Gwen's going in. Here comes the engage, and Gwen steals the Dragon Soul, trails again. That's the 3rd straight Dragon Soul denial by SI, and now the rest of the fight's coming in. And the rest of the first one to go down, and now SI's moving forward here. Can they get another reset for the Jinx? Man, that is... I mean, to be fair, that one wasn't as bad as the other two, because that was just a great steal by Gwen, but... And getting to the first 3 dragons, then losing 3 dragons in a row on close plays is just... I mean, that's just how games are lost, And the gold gap is closed. This is it now. I think SI firmly has the momentum here in game 1. After being down the entire game, they've come all the way back. Ironically, I think that would have stolen if he had actually hit it with his empowered W thingy. That would have killed the Baron, I'm pretty sure. But it just didn't go far enough. So yeah, there you go. Now BW on the back foot for really the first time this game. I don't know if they can get their footing back. Their team comp is definitely outscaled at this point. They don't have a great answer for this Gwen. And the Gwen's starting to get big with the 12 stack of Magi, the 500 AP, Lasagnas. I mean, it's just really tough to deal with at this point. And all it takes is one kill, and then the Jinx is popping off as well, and Pantheon's been making great plays all game. And then gonna look for a pick on Crimson Chin here. Looks like they are gonna get it. Shouldn't have to blow any big balloons to get him here. They might use Mel ulti anyway. Now looking for a, yeah, they do end up getting him. And then a bit of a play break out here in mid lane as well, but ooh, I get to ban somebody. Hold on. Oh, blonde chauffeur, more like banned. See ya. Goodbye, bot. All right. Yeah, gold dead even at this point. But I'm looking for a bit of a play here. Orange's not around, so you probably don't want to be too aggressive here. And there's indeed the Ornn ulti. Ooh, and Sir Pup actually taking a lot of damage here. Now Vel'Koz actually hurts at this point. Need to be careful around him. Actually, Horizon focuses a lot better on than it used to be on Vel'Koz because it'll buff true damage now, I think. Now that items do that, I assume. Okay. Bit of poke here on Castro, but he's fine. He's an Ornn. He will live. I'm looking for maybe a pick on Sawdude here, but trying to go for a pick on a late game Gwen is risky business. She could just as easily turn it on you. And now here comes Dragon Soul attempt number 4. Here we go. This one's for all the Dragon Soul marbles. Can SI manage to both deny it for a 4th consecutive time and secure for themselves? We shall see. They do have to be a bit careful about the Pantheon backdoor here because they don't have a lot of, they only have one Nexus tower here. So it's definitely, he's definitely a threat to end if they leave him alone top for too long. Castro's kind of caught out here and Sawdude's going in. And, you know, he's getting on the back line no problem. And there's going to be a great, you know, Castro gets caught out, and sometimes the tank is the worst person to get caught out because it means they can't peel for their team. They're going to go down. And that is indeed going to be 4 straight dragons for SI to secure the Hextech Soul for themselves. Wow. Comeback complete. He's got to finish off the game now. And yeah, the game's fairly in SI's court at this point. They just need to put it away. Ornn engages, coming in here. They're going to go ahead and force the Vel'Koz flash. The Baron is up once again here. And, excuse me. Up again in 30 seconds. No. 5K gold lead here for SI now. Hashtag get wasted. What does that say? BJJ Ninja Bunny. Welcome, thanks for subbing. 4 Hex Tech's kind of nutty. Yeah, it is. That's a lot of extra. What is it? It's tenacity and cooldown, right? Yeah. No, it's not tenacity. It's cooldown and... What is it? It's cooldown and something. I don't know what. I don't remember what the other one is. Is it health? It's not. I don't think it's health regen. Bit of fight breaking out here. Pantheon's going in. He's gonna get on Pantheon. Fantastic Bartle too. That's gonna kind of force the rest of BW to clump up. But now the resets are coming in, and Jinx is popping off, and that might be it. Yep, triple kill for Jinx. Crimson Shin is gonna put him in the bin. And there you go. SI was down for the first 30-something minutes of the game, and they hold on and come all the way back and take game 1. So well played to them. Honestly, great showing by both teams. I think BW looked very, very, very solid and on the same page early on and got out to a big lead. And they just kind of fumbled the execution at the end a bit. And you know, and great job, you know, but that happens. You know, just tighten up a little bit and you'll win that game, no problem. And, you know, congrats to SI. They took advantage of the mistakes that were being made against them and they held on and, you know, 42-minute banger game right there. So well played to both teams, honestly. So looking forward to seeing game 2 here. So let me go ahead and put up my spoiler blocker here and I will get game 2 ready to go. How much do these players make? Same as I do, bro. We're very well paid. We're the best paid in the business. All right. Go ahead and pull up the draft here for game 2. All right. It looks like the teams are switching sides here for game 2. All right. And I do not know how this rest of the series has gone, so please no spoilerinos in the chat from anybody who played in this series or anyone who cheated and looked it up, because I do not know. Okay. So it's going to be BW here on blue side, SI on red. Interesting. They decided to go ahead and they steal the Yorick instead of banning it. Okay, I like that. And there's triple jungle ban here for BW. Saw dude, 2-point player getting triple banned out. It's tough. Then SI, they didn't like the Jarvan or the Mel. They banned them both this time around. Fair play. And they keep the Urgot ban. The rest of the bans make sense to me. Yorick first pick, Mordekaiser to counter the Yorick. Smart call by SI there. And then Jinx lock in. 100% pick rate for Jinx. Do you feel like SI trolled this draft? Okay, I haven't gone through yet, but we'll see if I agree. Caitlyn and Vi. Perfect. We got the arcane couple going on. And then Warwick. That is the one other jungler that Sod is known for. And Renata. Okay, I see the Renata now, and that is a heavy range team for BW, but they didn't know that at the time. It's because they had two. Yeah, it's gonna be Veigar mid lane for BW here, and then Senna last pick. So double ADC bot lane for BW, and then last pick Akshan to go against the Veigar. Okay, so it's gonna be two double ADC comps. Yeah, I mean very similar team comps here, and yeah, we'll go ahead and see how it goes. Go ahead and hop right into it. Let me go ahead and swap these sides here. I should have just left these off, to be honest. They're just more trouble than they're worth, but that's okay. Here we go. Onward with game 2.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. "30 seconds until minions spawn."
Bit of early aggression here by BW. They got that ward. That'll show them. Ooh, and JWM is actually going to get kind of caught out here on the side. He'd probably be fine, but he's going to take a lot of damage. Yeah, he should be fine. I don't think they have kill pressure to actually finish him off. Oh, okay, I lied. Apparently they do have kill pressure because he doesn't want to use the sums. All right, fair enough. First blood over to Brahms, or Serpup. Well played. You know, I don't think it should have happened, but it's not, you know, when your opponent makes mistakes, it's not your fault. So you just gotta capitalize, right? So, good job to Serpup. And here we go. Both junglers starting bot side this game. Ooh, starting a camp with Q level 1 is rough, but this is probably still the best camp to do if you're going to do that. Some nice emote spam there by Oni1. Nice dodge by Castro to not get pulled in. Ooh, nice dodge by Crimson Jin in return, though. Some nice micro up here on the top lane so far, just in the last 10 seconds. Okay. And Warwick's going to go ahead and pop Ghost. Okay, I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at the gank. Thank you, game. Not able to land the fear on anybody, though, so... The end ends up being a wash. And Jinx actually ends up getting snared here, but she should be fine. And now Sadu's coming right back to the lab again. And Oni1 is caught out very far. And he ends up going down here. Warwick does go down. Ooh, it double kill for the Kaelin, and that's going to secure the Feats of Warfare. Okay. Wasn't a great situation for the BW bot lane, but she made the best of it. So, well played to Mr. Whaps. Yeah, and up to 800 gold lead already. And for BW, another strong early game for them. Brahms needs to be careful. He should be fine though, because Sawdude's right there. Ooh, not great to get feared back in. Serpup actually might be in trouble here. And Lord Wrath's doing his best to try to make some space, but it's not going to happen. And Tiger's going to go down, and Sawtooth will be just fine thanks to his healing. Lord Wrath's going to go down as well. He is, but at least Akshan will go down in return to the tower. So, yeah. I hate that Warwick can do that, where he can, like, latch onto you and throw you back the opposite way. That's just really frustrating whenever that happens. So I get that's how you're supposed to gank, but that doesn't mean I have to like it. And kills are tied 4-4. And a little bit of a miscue there by Lord Wrath, kind of baited his mid laner in, going to extending too far, and got them both killed. Nice trap by Caitlyn, getting a bunch of damage on the Jinx there. Vi's coming down here in the bot lane, but probably not have quite the tools you want to dive them at this early on. Vi's just going to go ahead and move right onto this dragon here. They do see the enemy jungler top lane, so should be a nice, easy dragon solo. Vi is very good at soloing dragons, thanks to her debut. Does it remove dragon's armor? I actually don't know if it does. I don't think it does. I think it just has less armor. Yeah. Well, hard to say. I'll have to check that next time to see if it still has 21 armor. But yeah, first dragon over to BW. Nice stun there by Viger, unfortunately. Not able to land much damage. And this is a counter pick against the Yorick eventually, but early on it's still, you know, Yorick is still definitely going to bully this matchup. It's not until Mordekaiser's ulti that he starts to kind of win the 1v1. So that's kind of what the lane looks like. Time being a huge lead in the bot lane for BW. 20 CS up. Caitlyn already. That's huge. It looks like they're going to actually do a lane swap here. Probably want to have the bot lane ready to rotate to this Grubs once they spawn. I'm assuming that's why they're swapping now. But it's a little early for that. Grubs will spawn for a whole minute still. But I guess get there early. You're ready to go early. Early bird gets the Grubs or whatever. And I guess maybe they're trying to get Yorick out of the 1v1 match against Mordekaiser as well. Maybe that's the reason? I don't know. But in either case, that's what they're doing. Now, in fact, there's actually been a lot of proactive lane swaps by BW this series, which I'd like to see. I mean, it shows that they're thinking about the game and they're communicating well, which is a good sign. And they are indeed going to move in here on this Grubs, but it's still going to be a 4v4 because the jungler or the support has roamed up here from bot lane. Viger here kind of looking for a pick. Maybe they can catch Renata here on the side, and that's exactly what's going to happen, but doesn't really have the damage to actually burst her by himself. And yeah, it's good that you're here, but it's a little scary against, I mean, they've done a lot of damage to Warwick, but... And Castro, Castro. Yorick can TP to this, if he decides to. And the Akshan ult goes right into the Grubs. Probably not what he was aiming to do. And they're just going to force it down. They say, heck with it. These are our Grubs. We're going to take them. The Warwick's going in. He actually manages to steal one of the Grubs despite not even being in auto range. I think he just smited one. And the engage goes on Jinx, but she survives. Now the fight's breaking out in earnest. Mordekaiser goes ahead and ults Lord Wrath here on the side. Is he going to be able to survive? No, he is not. And now the rest of the Okay, we're gonna have to definitely back up to see what'll happen here. It looks like Yorick TP'd in at some point. And it ends up being a 2-for-1 grubs in favor of BW. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what all just happened in this play, because there were a lot of moving pieces. Let's see, so Akshan ulties, and nothing really happens. Sawdude is kind of just looking for a way to get in here. And he just, heck with it, I'm just gonna ult the Senna, and he actually smites the grub while mid-ulting Senna in order to secure one of the grubs, which was a smart heads-up play by him. And yeah, and then the rest of the fight comes in. Yorick TP's in. Unfortunately, I don't know why he didn't TP to this ward, but in the end, Lord Wrath dies to Mordekaiser in the ulti. Sawdude ends up dying to the rest, not able to secure the second grub, unfortunately, so that's going to be 2 grubs over for BW. And the rest of SI has to go. And Jinx, happily farming on her own, down to bot lane. Yeah, honestly, the smite steal by Sawdude kind of salvaged that play a bit for SI, because that looked like a pretty easy 3 grub for BW, but no grub spawn to them this game. I believe it still counts for a Monster Hunter stack, though, as somebody said in the chat earlier, I believe. I will take their word for it that they're right about that. You know, 1.5k gold lead here for BW, plus the early objectives as well. They're only one objective away from securing a Monster Hunter here, which would secure feats of strength as well, since they got the 3 kills one very early on. And no towers are particularly close to going down here. Yeah, they all got a lot of health on them still. Not a big plate game so far. Surprised Caitlyn doesn't have her Collector yet with how far ahead she was. I guess she went for the full-on Berserker Greaves. Maybe because she couldn't afford Collector. That's usually why people do that. But actually a bit of an item deficit for her despite the gold lead. And Dragon has spawned. If you're BW, you really want to try to get this to go ahead and secure that feats of strength as soon as possible. But it looks like they are not. SI's just going to go ahead and call everybody over. Instead, it's going to be our Dragon instead. Yeah, they're just conceding it. Vi is off doing something else. So is Veigar too, to be fair. So this is just not great rotation timing to contest that, so they just let it go. Ooh. And Mordekaiser tries to go for the all-in in top lane, but I think he probably got trapped by the circle thing inside the death realm and couldn't actually keep fighting. That is the way you play this as Yorick, is that you hold your W, and then as soon as he ults you W him in and trap him in, so he has to either flash after you or just give up. Because he takes Mordekaiser way too long to kill the Yorick W.
I shall perform your rites.
They're moving up here. They could definitely dive Mordekaiser here if they can land the Yorick E here, and they do not. But they might go for it anyway. They're going for it anyway, but Mordekaiser's doing his best. Ooh, not quite able to get the shield up before getting bursted, and now a gank's going up here in the bot lane as well. Ooh, yep, Caitlyn's gonna go down. Noxion's gonna run top, see if he can get a cheeky return kill here, and he's gonna go for Vi. He ends up gonna get turned on instead. Ooh, and he is gonna get the kill. Ooh, but he ends up going down. I'm surprised he didn't just use E to escape, maybe it wouldn't have been fast enough. Okay, so let's go ahead and see all these plays again, because a lot happened here. So they... Okay, fast forward back up a little too much. Yeah, so they dive Crimson Chin here. Oh, he used his W early, that's why he didn't use it. Okay, got it. And then they land a nice Renato ulti on Caitlyn, and she's just completely caught out, and Senna just has to abandon her, which is the right call in that situation. And then Akshan is able to get in here and pops the Ignite right away, which is the smart thing to do. Goes right to melee range, she can't escape. Gets the kill, gets the revival on Mordekaiser, and then not quite able to escape York, so he's going to end up going down as well. That will be first tower, and therefore feats of strength over to Team BW. About 3k gold lead for them as well. Another great early game for BW, but can they close the game this time? We shall see. And you wouldn't think they would have a 3k gold lead with the score being 8-8, but they've got big CS leads in 3 out of the 4 farming positions. So there you go.
Turret plating will soon fall.
That's probably going to give up her tower, actually, by backing on that spot, but maybe he had no choice. There's some confusion about Maiden following into the Death Realm, but it shouldn't, unless they changed it, and I'm unaware of. Ooh, Renata kind of gets caught up from behind by Vi. Fantastic Renata ulti, though. That might buy enough time for Renata to survive. Nope, not quite. He's gonna end up going down. No Ultimate Hunter on Vi, I'm actually surprised. I feel like that's really important with how long the ult cooldown is, but he opted for boots, magical boots instead. And the classic 0 healing Conqueror. He'll get some later, but I always find Conqueror on Sunburst Champions to be funny because it can be hard to actually stack it up all the way and still keep fighting. Castro's going to go right ahead for Mpex here. No ghouls to speak of, though, so when they landed the E, nothing actually really came of it. BW's going to go ahead and move in here on Rift Herald. It should be an easy take for them. And indeed it is.
A summoner has disconnected.
Some of these faces I know well.
Looks like they had a bit of a pause there again. Apparently JWM graduated. Congrats to him. What on earth are they going on about in chat? Alright. Third dragon's about to come up. Neither team really in great position for it at the moment. Ooh, they do kind of catch Renata here, though, and she's going to get wiped off like a stain from a window. Yeesh. Goodbye, Renata. Okay, and they're going to... BW's going to go ahead and move on here. Dragon number 3. Should be a freebie for them, no problem. Indeed it will. And yeah, another great early game by Team BW here. You know, not like a stomp, like getting tons of kills and getting fed, but just good coordinated team play and getting objectives. They did just as well this game as they did last game. We'll see if they can close it out this time. That was kind of a funny consequence of the blast plant. Jinx has to run for it for a while. They will get her eventually, but meanwhile, fight's gonna break it out here. Mordekaiser has to pop his ulti just to try to buy time against the Senna. But in the end, it will be futile. He will go down. Caitlyn will finish off a Jinx down here in the jungle. Yeah, up to a 5K goal lead for BW here. Now, BW's look great. Does SI have another comeback in them? We shall see. Ooh. York going a bit crazy down here in the bot lane. Tries to dive Akshan by the looks of it. Just barely doesn't get him. And has to flee the tower. They're going to be able to finish off this tower here. They should be able to. And indeed they will. Ooh, and a TP coming behind Yorick here. That's going to be the Mordekaiser. Should be a pretty... Oh, yeah, York's going to try to... Oh. York, or Mordekaiser doesn't actually have TP, or doesn't have ulti. He should still be able to get this kill, though. Yes. Okay, so let's go back and watch the play in mid lane here. Warwick's going in, as Warwick's tend to do. Engage on the Caitlyn, but really no follow-up yet. He's able to fear her back in. Nice flash by Caitlyn to avoid the Jinx ulti and survive long enough for Senna to come in to help. And they're stalling out, and now Viger's here as well, and they're trying to turn the fight the other way. Serpos go ahead and flash. That's going to go ahead and get the pulse enough to land a stun on Renata. She's going to get blasted again. Very nice play by Waps to avoid the chain CC and burst there and survive. Very good flash. We're not quite able to get that turret just yet. Octocon will be spawning here. I'm not sure why it's spawning top lane, but there you go. Sardum's going on Oni1 here. Ooh, nice ult interruption by Vi there to save the Senna. And now the fight breaks out in earnest, and Crimson Chin's, or Morgan's gonna go ahead and ult Viger here, while the rest of the fight's breaking out on the side, and they're just kind of trying to stall this out long enough to turn and burn the Mordekaiser, and that's exactly what's gonna happen. He's gonna go down. The rest of SI just has to abandon him. That's how it goes sometimes. Only one gonna get caught out here by Mr. Rammstein. Nice little pick there. And BW says, okay, we'll take Otacon, no problem with that. I'm gonna go ahead and call in the Viger TP. I want to see the dog pop off. Woof, woof. We'll see. And that will be the Thornbound Otacon over for Team BW, getting gobbled up every objective as they have so far, except for Dragon Soul. And Castro is looking for a bit of a fight here, but please be careful. That Warwick is not allowed. A bit of posturing around the dragon here. Bromstein, or Akshan. Akshan Bromstein just sitting there in stealth, waiting for something to happen. Smart man. And here comes Mordekaiser, and he's got a great angle on this Caitlyn here, but he ends up eating a trap. Yorick's not here, and they know he's not here, so I would like to see SI be a little more assertive going for this play, but they're kind of being held at bay for the time being, and now Yorick is here. All right, BW, we're going to repeat the mistakes of the past? No. Good. We're going to wait for them to back off before we start the dragon. Very good. Don't try to do it with their whole team contesting right in your face. Very good. Much better. This would be third drag over for them. And these two need to be careful. I get they're trying to go for the reset here, but I don't think they quite have the minions, and they're going to get caught out here. And Vi's going in. Let's hold off for a little bit, but in the end, she's still going to end up getting the ult out, I think. They're just going to go for Renata. It's a Renata ult. Unfortunately, Jinx, you are still very dead. And Vi's going to go in and just spend some police justice, police brutality on the Jinx there. And he's going to go down, and meanwhile, Yorick is just doing some shenanigans over here on the other side of the map while things are happening. So far, he's still alive. Okay, he finally goes down. I bet you did. I bet you did. Yeah, BW once again in great shape. Baron's about to spawn. They're at Soul Point once again. They're about in the same spot they were last game, maybe with a bit more of a gold lead. So we'll see if they can close it out this time. Thank God Sardu didn't pop off this game, sick of being spammed about his rating. I mean, if you were rating him correctly, you wouldn't have had that problem. That's all I'm saying. Plus, you know, he could still win this game. He could still win another title. But yeah, not this game, not as much of a pop-off compared to last game. Although there's still time. BW, I think, just kind of content to just keep vision up and wait for this Dragon Soul, which is probably the correct play. Bit of an engage come up here on Yorick. Oh, and that's going to be the 2v1 here. Can he win this 2v1? I'm going to say probably not. I mean, it was fairly close, but no. He is not able to win the 1v2. It's hard to finish off a low health Warwick, to be fair. Nice catch there by Sardu, knowing he had teammates nearby to follow up. Akshan gonna get caught out by Vi here, but he might be able to escape if he times his E correctly. Nope. He's gonna get punched to death. BW is going to go ahead and move on to Baron here. Bagar's not here, though. I'd like to see him TP now rather than waiting. You don't want to be late to this play. Gia's Harbor just going to walk, as is Yorick. Both are going to hold their TP. To be fair, BW is doing this pretty slowly to just kind of give their team time to rotate. And SI, oh no! The plant missed, we're going to have to go back and watch all this, but the plant missed, Mordekaiser, so he didn't pop over, he had to flash over the wall. In the end, Vi ends up securing the Baron. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what happens here. So they're standing here and they're waiting, and Mordekaiser's not quite on the plant. So when they pop over, a couple of mistakes here. So not only does he not go in, he has to blow his flash, but when he does go in, he doesn't ult the right person. You want to ult Vi here so she can't smite, but he ends up ulting Yorick instead. And that lays Vi out to go ahead and secure the Baron instead of letting Warwick steal it. And then at that point, you just kind of lose the team fight. Yeah. Caitlyn killed his support. No, Diddy with Renata ulti. I believe it. Yeah, I mean, that's something where I don't know if Crimson Chin just misclicked, because yeah, I mean that was two pretty big mistakes there at that play. One, not being on the plant and having to blow flash, and two, not ulting the right person. So that's tough. Oh, and that could have made a big difference if Warwick had stolen that ulti instead. But ooh, fantastic flank here by Bromstein. Although he needs to be careful, he can easily just get one shot here. Although I don't know why Jinx isn't, or Caitlyn isn't helping him. Okay, I don't know why they both just didn't kill Akshan. I don't know. Okay, I don't know what Caitlyn's doing over there, but Vi is going ahead and doing the Dragon Soul while all this is happening. I don't know if they changed it, but I swear I saw Baron Immortal. No, I don't know. I don't know what happened. Well, I know what happened. I don't know what it looked like, but. But yes, Vi does secure the Mountain Soul for the team. No 4-star dragons for SI this time. And 6K lead for them. They just gotta finish it off. Their team does scale really, really well this time, so I think they have a better, they're in a better position now than they were last game. So time for them to close it out. Oh, Saudu's going in. Pressure and ooh, nice Q timing by Vi to interrupt the Warwick ulti, and she's tanky, so she'll be just fine. Ooh, going back in. I don't know if you want to do that. Ooh, lots of damage coming in from Serpup. Now Mordekaiser's coming in. And how many Barons does BW still have left? Do they have any? Is it worn out already? Yeah, it might just be done already, or they might have all died. I don't see any Barons left on them, so they must have lost it all already. Okay. Oh no, Vi still has it. Wait, what? Yeah. Why do I not see it on the buff bar? Am I stupid? Where is the Baron buff? Seriously. Hold on. Okay. Am I dumb? Like, I see the Baron buff underneath her, but there's no Baron buff on the bar? Okay. I'm very confused by that, but alright. Ooh. Renata's gonna go ahead and get caught here again. Renata's been having a really rough go of it. This game getting caught out a lot. It's tough. Okay, now the Baron's gone. York's gonna go ahead and get ulted, but yeah, it looks like. Hold on. They were mentioning this earlier. I'm very confused. So he goes in. He's got Maiden out, and Yorick ults him, but the Maiden is still very clearly on the Mordekaiser. Huh. Does Maiden follow into Death Run now? I wonder. Maybe that worked. Maybe that's how it works now. I don't know when they changed that, but okay. Well, that makes this matchup much more Yorick favored than I thought. Maiden definitely follows me. Okay. That must be a recent, fairly new change then, because I used to pick. I picked Mordekaiser to counter Yorick for that very reason, because Maiden didn't follow, but they must have changed it. Okay, fair enough. And yeah, BW able to close it out this time, so that's going to be game 2. We are going for a game 3. See who gets to go on to the finals to face Team CR. And it's been a great series so far. I look forward to game 3 here. So let me go ahead and put up my spoiler blocker here, and we'll get started here on game 3. All right, we'll go ahead and look at the draft here real quick. All right, and the teams have switched sides here, so we'll go ahead and swap them over. All right, and the teams are tied 1-1. All right, here's the draft for Game 3. Urgot, Caitlyn, Mel. Kane, Lilia, Gwen. Triple ban for SI or for Sawdude once again. Then they're gonna go with the first pick, Yorick, this time for SI. They really wanted it. Fair enough. They go with the Renekton to counter it. It's probably one of the better champs to counter Yorick, to be honest, because you can dash out pretty easily of any KG boys. Plus you have the CC to set up ganks and stuff. So I like that as a pick against Yorick. Then running back the Vi once again. Like Kog'Maw, Milio. Okay. And then Blitzcrank, final pick. Or not final pick, but support pick for BW. Very interesting. Okay. Spicy pick. I like it. And then 2 ADC bans for SI. Another jungle ban for BW. I don't know what this ban is. I assume it was Warwick. Can you confirm that for me? Someone on Team BW in the chat? Was this supposed to be a Warwick ban? I noticed he didn't pick it here. So I'm assuming this was meant to be a Warwick ban to five ban out Sawdude. Vel'Koz. Okay, interesting. Okay, so he just opted not to go Warwick. He went for a Mumu instead. Okay. So a Mumu Nico. It's a lot of playmaking. I like that. And rounded up with Jhin and Syndra. Okay, so lots of pick potential here for Team BW. Got it. All right. Well, fair play. I like the draft. I think they're both good drafts. Time for the rubber match. Here we go. Let me find my thing here. And here we go. Oh, it's going to be a role swap here for SI for the final game. They're going to swap JWM and Bromstein around. Okay. And here we go. I know the seed numbers aren't correct, but I can't be bothered to switch it. It's going to be the last. I'm going to just not do them from now on because it's annoying to have another thing to switch every game. So I'll just leave it be.
30 seconds until minions
Level 1
spawn.
shenanigans by BW with Blitzcrank. No surprise there. Even spam them with the emote to let them know. Now, question is, they could still make this invade work if they blind hook into the pit here, but will they, or will Sawdude just go for it? They're gonna go for it. And here comes all the CC. Lots of damage coming out, and Sawdude's actually gonna go down first. It's gonna be first blood over for BW, but Nick's gonna go in return. Extremely early barrier by Impact for no reason, and then only one has to flash to escape. And now Waps is in a really rough spot here, but he does have both sums. He should be fine. And he indeed fine. Ooh, and Yorick gets kind of pulled here. And he still has flash as well, so he should be fine. Ooh, and Wap's actually taking a ton of damage here. That definitely wasn't worth it. Yeah, and he's going to be starting laying down a bunch of HP because of that. I don't think he's going to afford to back here. Especially if they walk up and stop your back. You know what? I respect that. I respect the attempted... Are you guys really going to back here? Okay, that's gonna miss a lot of EXP, but it's better than staying in lane with no HP. Perhaps that's a judgment. That's a fair judgment call. We'll see how it works out. And both junglers starting bot side once they finally made it to their jungles.
Faces I know well.
Ooh. Respect the only one's attempts here. He's having a grand old time on the Blitzcrank. Yeah, they're just going to be behind in EXP for quite a while now. They're down like a full level. Alright. Like to direct the camera, take the wheel for now. Guys catch up by Crimson Chin there.
consumes
If Castro, hold on. This is a Renekton lesson for you here. So he doesn't have 50 Fury yet. He's gonna have his cooldowns up. So if he gets 50 Fury here before blowing his W, I think he gets his kill. But because he autoed, if he had just held his auto or held his W longer and then did the empowered W, I think he would have gotten that kill. Because look, now he has Fury that he doesn't have the abilities to use. So managed it. If he had managed his, I know you're in the chat here, so I'm not trying to flame you, but this is just Renekton mechanics. You end up getting them anyway, so it's not a big deal. But you ended up getting them, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, making sure managing that race so you have that the empowered W at the right moment is super duper important on Renekton. So I think you got the kill a bit earlier. Just slightly better rage management, but in the end, you did get him. So I'm not gonna harp on it too much. That's fair. That is fair. Bit of a ooh. Lord Wrath is very deep, and he is very dead. Goodbye, Lord Wrath. I also don't know. This is just my personal preference. I'm really not a fan of Conqueror on Renekton, unless you're fighting like a tank that's gonna stack armor, and you're gonna be extended fighting them for a long time. I think PTA is just a lot more bang for your buck. But that's just my personal opinion. I'm not sure about the stats, if that's correct or not, but I just find that by the time you... I think it's just better to just play Renekton more bursty, rather than like sustain DPS-y. A Conqueror is nice later on when you have a lower cooldowns and stuff, but I think it's better to just maximize your burst potential. But that's just my opinion. Otherwise, the rest of the runes I think are totally fine. So I got no issue with the rest of any of them. To be fair, I also play Pantheon, and it's a lot of the same logic, is that you go more bursty with PTA or you go more sustained fighting with Conqueror. And I think just in this matchup against the Yorick, I just think the burst is more important. But anyway, I'm busy blabbing about stuff that doesn't matter while play is happening. So let's go ahead and back up here. Here comes the Vi gank. It's gonna land on Mpex here. Ooh, and a nice CC chain on Mpex, and he's gonna eventually go down here. But it stalls long enough for the rest of SI to show up. Ooh, unfortunate that Amumuku missed. Not able to get into the team, but they do end up getting them. So, ends up being a 1-for-1 at the end of the day. Not sure why Castro TP'd down to this play. I think they were totally fine, but he's gonna lose some plate. Gonna lose some platey boys for that one, I'm afraid. But that's okay. I'd rather you be a little too eager to help your team and make a play than the other way around. Plus, you can help them get this dragon here, so it's not the end of the world. Oh, and there you go. So you got your mid laner here to help rotate and save your tower, so it's all good. I'm so used to solo queue where just no one gives a shit about your tower, so if you ever TP and leave, no one will cover and you'll lose like 4 plates. But here you are. You got Sir Pup here to help you out. Doesn't even touch your tower. Your tower remains pure. And yeah, I mean, you guys have been doing lane swaps a lot this series. In solo queue, I never do that. Yeah, there you go. Fair enough. Yeah, great rotations by you guys. Not just this game, but in general. It's a big part of why you guys have you've been able to get all these early objectives. Not quite as dominant of an early game this time around. They are down a little bit in gold, a few hundred. They did get first dragon, though. But it's very good team macro. Now, can you pick up and throw Maiden as Syndra? Is that a thing? I feel like that seems like a really easy way to get rid of it. You just grab it and you throw it behind your tower. And pull them away from the Yorick. I feel like that seems like big brain. Okay. Interesting. That's good to know. Ooh. The butt tickler right there. Just misses, which is good because that is a child. Watch where your hands are, Blitzcrank. Going for round 2, just misses again. He's flirting. He's flirting with danger here. Both junglers still not level 6, very late. There are lots of early action from both of them, so haven't been farming as much as they would normally. And Lord Wrath needs to be careful. Yeah, he's able to get out before Amumu can get on him. Good. Renekton going in for an all-in here, down on the Yorick, but runs out of cooldowns. Not quite able to finish it off, but he should be able to dive in here with a flash. Nope, opts not to go for the flash. It would have been close. Yeah. York does have flash of his own, to be fair, so maybe that wouldn't happen. And then stuff happens up here in the top side while that's happening. So let's go ahead and back up and take a look and see what happens here. Lorbeck is trying to get in here. And again, ooh, that's a very unfortunate Q. Puts him in way too deep, and yep, he's going to get caught by Sawdude, and he's going to get ulted. There you go. Okay. That's going to be Grubs over to SI most likely. Indeed it is. Maybe if you're BW, you can yoink one of these. Do a sneaky sneak. But probably not. Okay. York has the Legend Lifesteal rune. Interesting. I've never seen anybody about ADCs take this rune. That's an interesting choice. Okay. Decent attempt to try to get the maiden, but alas, she ran back. Yeah, very close game here. 1.2k gold lead here for SI early on, but yeah, it's the one early in hasn't gone great for BW, so we'll see how the mid game looks, knowing that. I don't remember who got the Feat of Warfare. Did we see? Red team got the Feat of Warfare, so BW for the 3rd game in a row gets the 3 kills first. Oh, well played to them. Cartridge, ooh! Nice bandage toss that kind of catches him out, but he ends up being fine. Nice rotation here once again to catch the departing Renekton. Although actually, looking for a play here. Ooh, nice flash to get over the kickball, and that's going to be a snare onto the Milio as well. And he's gonna go down. Okay. Oh yep, there you go. You can indeed grab the maiden. Fortunately, it runs back so fast when it's that far away that can't really hold it in as far as you would like. Ooh. X-Flash play, can they get him? Ooh. Nice moves by Mpex to not get hooked there. What happened in mid lane? Hold on. They're going for a gank here on the Nico, which makes sense. Probably selling it a little too hard, though. Ooh, and they end up actually CCing the wrong one. And she ends up getting away, no problem. And Dragon is coming up here, but they are down Renekton ultimate, which is actually a pretty big ult these days. Ooh, are they going to catch Sawdude here? They are indeed. He's going to get in all 3 of them. He probably can just pop ulti and escape, but that's exactly what's going to happen. But having to blow ulti to escape is really not ideal, although Nico comes in from the side, only able to get Blitzcrank though, and that's totally fine. But now BW has to kite out for the moment. Ooh, and a gank coming up here in the top lane. Renekton roams up to this Yorick, and that's going to, together with Syndra, that's going to be enough to finish him off. Probably not worth it though. You're trading Dragon for a kill in top lane. That's definitely not worth it most of the time. There you go. It's gonna be second dragon over to SI. A 500 gold lead for them. Anyone close to first turret? Not really. Lots of health on all these turrets still. Blitzcrank looking for a gank in the mid lane, but no one is here at the moment. Ooh. Yeah, DWM actually took a lot of damage. I guess there was another all-in in top lane that I missed. Yeah, because Renekton used his ulti, so I guess he went for it. He should be just fine, though. He's got Vi here to help as well. He's doing a good job stalling. Nice job using the W there. Probably got held a little bit longer, but I'm fine with it. And he heals a lot, doesn't he? Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, nice job setting up for the gank. Crimson Chin just wanted to help his laner, who you forced out of lane, but kind of got himself baited. Well done.
3.
Oh, did I turn off the... Oh yeah, I turned off the scoreboard. Whoops. York Q heals a whole bunch. Yeah, I guess it does, doesn't it? It's 29 plus 10% missing max health. Oh, well, there you go. I never realized it was that big. Okay, fair enough. Oh, that's even more reason to stun lock him and burst him before he can heal. But I digress. I never realized it healed quite that much. Plus, it's usually a grass pit, too, so... There's a fatty heal. And we're actually kind of getting caught out here, but he should be fine. But Saudu's going to keep going. But his team is here, but they have the numbers advantage, so they need to be careful. They might have to ditch Renekton here in order to survive, but nope, they're able to get him out. And I guess you would know the specifics of Yorick since you just played him in the game before this one, right? Or was that in game... I don't know, it was one of these games. I don't remember which one. Maybe it was last game. All I know is that you played it already, so. Too much casting, not enough brain. I don't remember how long ago that was. Game 2? Okay, so last game. Got it. What did you play in game 1? I'm trying to remember. I don't recall. It was something versus Pantheon. I don't remember what it was. Was it Ornn? I think it was Ornn, right? Am I remembering that correctly? I forgot that game. Fair enough. I think it was Ornn. Yeah, it was Ornn. Ornn versus Pantheon. That's right. Okay. And BW is actually doing a sneaky take of this Rift Herald here. Sneaks over or pews over the wall to avoid the pit or to avoid the vision here from the river plant or from the Scuttle Crab. Very smart heads up play by Lord Wrath there. Able to take it, no problem. Before Dragon spawns, so you can rotate over to that as well. Ooh, nice hook on Kog'Maw. Do they have the damage to finish him off? Not quite. Well, not yet anyway. Here comes the Jhin ulti, along with the music. And ends up getting both of Mpex's sums. That's without having to really use much. That's a big get. Able to go ahead and take out the Maiden. And BW in much better position here. Nico is nowhere around, although he does have TP. Maybe look for a pick first with the Blitzcrank. Ooh, nice flash hook there, followed up by the Jhin W. I was going to say nice freebie on Kog'Maw, but he actually does a lot of damage. He just turns and burns. Kills Jhin no problem, and now the rest of the fight's breaking out, but Sawdude able to make it on top of Syndra. Able to flash on top and finish her off, and now Renekton's here. But SI is just going to have to try to kite their way out of this. Looks like Bromstein's going to be the next victim. Indeed, he will. He's going to get stunned, and he's going to go down. Now, Sawdude, I'm not sure how he didn't escape, but he's still fighting, Kung Fu fighting, fast as lightning. And Nico's here to help, and they just have to leave Vi to her death. And lots of just very back and forth fights here. One guy goes down, and another guy goes on the opposing team.
I must dig.
He must dig. Nice stun by Renekton, but he ends up taking a lot of damage in return. Not sure if it's worth it, but he's got his laner here to hold the lane. It'll be just fine. Neither team able to actually get the... Whoa! And yeah, Mpex is not afraid. Like that, he does not back down in the face of danger. He says, oh, okay, let's fight then. Every time everyone tries to aggress onto him, he does not back down without a fight. Okay. Ooh, nice pull on the Nico, pull her away from her team. He can end up going down. Has to use the Syndra for it, unfortunately. Meanwhile, Yorick is pushing top uncontested. No TP though, so I think this is still a good position here if you're Team SI, especially if you can somehow manage to steal this. But nope, they're just going to go ahead and concede. So second dragon over to BW. They have closed the gold gap. They're up about 300 now, although they won't be for long if Yorick keeps pushing this lane. A very close game here for game 3. For trip to the finals, wouldn't have it any other way. Really could go either way. Nice hook on the Milio there. Ooh, nice flash. Just survives the chain CC there. Really huge ups on this Blitzcrank pick so far. He's gotten a lot of good hooks and really hasn't cost his team anything so far, which is best case scenario when you're Blitz. You know, you have a lot of weaknesses as a champ to make up for that extreme strength, and you're just trying to mitigate it the best you can, and so far they've done a great job. 0 deaths. Hasn't really, you know, he's been making good plays. Hasn't really cost a team. Ooh. Very unfortunate hook miss there. This is a very noisy Jhin skin, isn't it? With all the music and stuff. Atakan has spawned. I could have sworn Otacon was supposed to look different this season, but this just looks like the regular Rose's Otacon. Okay. And SI is going to go ahead and move right onto it. This is probably a smart call because they see their enemy jungler top lane because they're playing around Renekton, so they just go ahead and decide to back off. And I think you just have to concede this if you're BW. I mean, yeah, they have a smite here, so unless you can amazingly manage to steal it with the Jhin ulti. They got Amumu low enough that he bailed on the play and they able to steal it with the Jhin ultimate. So great play. They just name changed it and changed the effects. Interesting. I could have sworn it looked different the first time I saw it, but maybe I'm wrong. Well, yeah, great play by BW there to make the play top and secure this to steal. They got Amumu low enough that he got scared to stay there and he backed off out of smite range and then Jhin ulti stole it. So. Great job by BW. And I will say, like, when I'm casting games, I tend to oscillate between you know, complimenting one team for what they're doing well and like criticizing teams for how they're misplaying. And it's not, a lot of that's just because it just tends to go back and forth. Like I don't think SI has played badly this series at all. Like their mistakes have been honestly not that many and not that big, but BW has just played even better than them. So they've been coming out ahead so far. You know, I think the effort that SI has put together so far would be good to beat most teams in the league right now. Whereas, you know, a lot of the times teams lose because they make dumb mistakes and throw the lead away, not because their opponent was playing really well. So that's a distinction to be made. But right now, both these teams playing very well. BW playing just a little bit better. Ooh, I don't know if you actually want to do that, though. They do get by on here. Interesting, not often you see Amumu flash out off the back line. And the Amumu comes in, and Vi's going to go down. And Syndra's here on the side, not quite able to finish off. Ooh, not quite able to finish off Blitzcrank just yet. And Blitzcrank's trying to get just enough damage. He just finishes off the Kog'Maw, but now Neeko is here, and they're too afraid to get too close to keep fighting with these ranged carries, and that's fair enough. They're just kind of trying to save Blitzcrank, but in the end, not able to. And Syndra just got her 100 Splinters of Wrath just after that teamfight ended, so she'll have the execute on the ulti from now on. That'll be a big deal against champions like Kog'Maw. Ooh. Sadu gets caught a little bit here by Renekton, but in the end, he's fine. And yeah, very good series. Feel like BW starting to pull away, but it's definitely very winnable for SI still. You know, they were down further than this in game 1, and they won that game, so we shall see. I do really like the boots rush on Renekton here. 25 ability haste for 1,400 gold is such crazy value. Plus, you know, everything else the boots give. Yeah, 1,400 gold for that much ability haste and move speed, and the passive is great. Renekton's actually TPing away to stop the Yorick, which I don't hate, but I think he probably should have waited a little bit longer to do that to see how this play would go. But in the end, it ends up being fine. And then Yorick actually TPs away. But his jungler's already dead, so there's really probably no point. Now BW is just going to go ahead and take their dragon and leave. So, kind of a funny series of TPs involving the top lane there. Neither one of them really should have TP'd, I think, but I guess that makes it a wash. Able to go ahead and she Maiden books it when she gets too far. That is wild. Is that a thing? Oh, hold on. Might catch up Braumstein here. Nope, he's fine. Ooh, and SI is actually doing the Baron right under their nose, but they're aware of it. And BW is moving in, and they're not doing this quite fast enough. Here comes the Jhin ulti to apply pressure, and Lord Wrath's just waiting for the moment. Probably should go now. You don't want to wait too long. All right, yeah, you got to go now, buddy. You got to go now. And he whiffs the Q over the wall. Unfortunately, he's in a really bad spot now. It seems getting engaged on by Amumu and the Neeko, and he's finally in now, but it might be too little too late, and SI's going to grab the Baron. Nice blitz pull, admittedly, that goes and grabs Neeko, but I feel like it shouldn't have been that easy of a secure for SI. I think if Vi goes in earlier, that play goes completely differently, but not only does he wait way too long, he completely whiffs his Q over the wall. And in the end, I mean, SI is going to lose all their Barons, but they never should have got it in the first place. Well, I mean, I think at BW, you're happy with that play at the end result, just because you aced them, but could have been a lot better too. So. Dragon Soul once again on the table here in a couple minutes. Let's see, about a 3K gold lead here. 2 minutes on the potential Mountain Soul. Good itemization by Blitzcrank here, recognizing Frozen Heart is high value against the Kog'Maw. JDWM is probably caught here. Ain't no probably about it. He is very caught. Probably should have saved the Syndra ulti. It'll be back up in time, but it's a pretty short cooldown at this point. But definitely didn't need it to kill her there. But when it's that short, why not let it fly? Surprised it's that short, even without. Well, he doesn't have Ultimate Hunter. He doesn't have Malignance, and it's only a 44-second cooldown. That's kind of wild. I guess he does have 81 ability haste. So there you go. I'm not quite sure how exactly he has 81 ability haste. That's 45. Plus some from Chemtech's Dragon. Oh, plus. Yeah, I don't know how he has so much ability haste. I'm gonna be real with you. Oh, he's got 10 or I don't know. I have no idea. He's got Transcendence. There's 10. Yeah, I don't know how he has so many. Ooh, nice pick attempt here by Onione, able to land the hook on Milio. It's a great target to go for because he's the main Steel 4 Kog'Maw if you can get him out of the way. Unfortunately, Waps kind of gets engaged on by Sawdude, and Renekton is not here, so this is a 4v5. At least no, it's not a 4v5 because he kills York on the top, so that was a 4v4. Okay, I see. Now, let's go ahead and see let's go ahead and see both these plays again. So we'll go ahead and so misses the first Q, but then they go in on Milio. Ooh, nice flash by Sawdude to not only get in position to get a 3-man ulti, but then Q onto Waps as well. That was a great. Honestly, Sawdude completely salvaged that play with that flash and Q. So well played to him. And then in the top lane, yeah, Castro just goes for it, and he's holding W. He's not. Yeah, there you go. Now he's finally doing it. He's just waiting for his cooldowns to go back up, and yeah, he's just too big for York to fight back against at this point. York is not tanky enough to handle the crocodile. Okay. Yeah, honestly, great play by Sawdude to salvage that play, because that could have been a game-losing play right there. If they had just gotten wiped right there cleanly, while York gets killed top lane, that's a game-ending play. But as it stands, the game will go on. Kog'Maw's Life Over will not go on because that's a lot of damage from the Syndra right there. Sheesh. 71. So she's got 45 from items, and then 55. And then 6.5% from Chemtech Dragon. And then, or is that what it comes from? And then another 10% from somewhere. I don't know where. I'm confused. But whatever. That will indeed be Mountain Solo for BW. Yo, dude, go back. Watch my escape. Where was your escape? Hold on. Over here? I'm glad you said something. I didn't even see it. Okay, yeah, so you're trying to get this tower. You're right, I was too busy blabbing about ability haste, that doesn't matter. Okay. Dodge the snare. Good. Ooh. Don't quite have the damage to finish him off, at least not yet. Ooh, and then stuns the minion, but survives. And then Milio's coming, but Milio doesn't do any damage, so ooh. Okay, I don't know why you didn't just E over the wall, but in the end, it's totally fine. Some interesting misplays in there, but you do make it out. Mostly just stunning the minion, but it didn't end up mattering, so. But nice play in their base, doing some cheeky shenanigans to mess with them. And then it's going to be Mountain Soul over for BW. 6K gold lead. Yeah, they're in a great spot. They just gotta close this out. They got the trip to the finals, and I gotta say, this is not how I expected the series to go. I expected it to be competitive, but honestly, I expected SI to win. And so far, BW's looked like the better team all 3 games. And they've just played really, really well. Ooh, that move was tanky, though. Not going to count him out yet. I mean, Kog'Maw is a 1v9 champion, so, and Amumu's got great playmaking, so it's definitely still possible for SI to win, but I think they're in a tough spot. They're in a very tough spot. For just a little bit because we backed up a bunch. Both teams just kind of ready for Baron here. Ooh. Nice job there to avoid getting picked off. But he might go for it anyway. He's got a flash so he can get his Hex Flash ready to go. Interesting double back timing for SI here. Okay. You know, a lot of teams pretty hesitant to commit too hard to anything at the moment. Patiently waiting. Looking for a pick here on Yorick, but probably not a great play. SI is going to start moving in here on the Baron. They're going to start it right away. But Syndra has TP. But they are aware that this is happening. I'd like to see a TP sooner rather than later for Syndra. Don't wait for them to get the Baron really low like last time. Okay, they're TPing now. Okay, I like to be more assertive. Get in there now. One, and he doesn't. He get in there and he steals it. That's a great steal. Followed by the engage on the side. And that might be it. That's a triple kill and the Baron over for BW. And can they push to end here? They might. Let's go ahead and see this Baron play again. That was very close. Yes, let's see what exactly happens here. So Castro goes into the side, big engage, and yeah, he's able to just go in there. Sawdude doesn't end up smiting at all. I don't know why. I don't know why your jungler flashed out after the play, but that's a great steal by him. Yeah, it was just a pixel perfect steal. It right at 1200, he got it. And yeah, great. Honestly, I mean, much credit he deserves. Great job by Castro as well to get there. He was a distraction. Guarantee Sawdude was a little bit distracted, and that's part of why he missed the smite. That's part of why he got smited. So. Great play to both of them. Ooh. Not quite able to land the hook on Neeko, but it was close. And I assume they're going to push to end here. Let's go ahead and see. dodges another hook. It's into his teeth, but wow. All right, let's see if they can kill the Nexus here. Wow. BR versus CR, BW versus CR finals. Yeah, I mean, that is wild. You know, SI hadn't lost a series the entire season. And they come in undefeated against BW, and honestly, BW looked like the better team all 3 games. Like, I think they were lucky that this wasn't a 2-game sweep. Because that first game was a huge comeback by them, which full credit to them. But yeah, BW. I mean, they came out and they were clearly the better team here, and that's tough. And I don't even think SI played bad at all. I think they just, they ran into. I mean, like BW was on point. Like those rotations, like I knew that was a good omen when they're doing these very proactive lane rotations and stuff, and they're not giving up free objectives and everything, and they're at make sure they're not giving up free towers. They're getting to the objectives at the right time with the right number of people. I mean, that was some exquisite team-wide macro by BW, and it made a huge difference for sure. So, and I don't think SI played bad at all. I think that their effort would have been good enough to win most of the time, but when your opponent plays to basically near perfection, you got to be just as good, and they just weren't quite there. So, yeah, wow, big upset by BW. Congratulations to them. No back-to-back champions or no back-to-back championship for SI this time around. And yeah, I mean BW is basically this season's ABW. They just got hot late in the season, and yeah, great job to them. Looking forward to seeing them against CR whenever that ends up being. I know I think we have 2 weeks to schedule that, I believe. So no one is even. I assume they haven't even started that yet. We'll probably find sometime in the next couple of weeks we'll play, but looking forward to that. It should be a lot of fun. I think both teams have been really big overachievers this season. So we will see which one of them has enough gas left in the tank for the final sprint. And yeah, fun series to cast. I agree with MPEX. That was the better series. Not the way he was hoping for, but it was the better series. So, and yeah, looking forward to seeing that finals best of 5 between both of these upstart teams. And yeah, that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, everybody, and have a good night. And we'll see you guys whenever the finals are. All right, bye.